Let's put this sitting to prayer. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness have appointed the offices of leaders and county assemblies for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor as your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of important trusts in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here, assemble, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interests you have committed to our church. Amen. Honorable members, I confirm that we have quorum to proceed with the sitting. Clerks, read the orders of the day.
Order number 1, administration of all.
Next order.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Honorable members, the chair has the following communication to make. Honorable members, standing order number 57 directs that the chairperson of a committee shall submit quarterly progress reports to the county assembly on questions and statements. A, referred to the committee. B, replied to. C, which the committee has directed a county executive committee member to provide information, additional information or further reply. D, any undertaking made by the county executive committee member in response to a question or questions and statements. And E, pending before the committees or questions or statements pending before the committee. Pursuant to this standing order, honorable members, the chair hereby directs all committees to prepare and submit the July to September. I think there's a typo. July to September 2025. Quarterly reports to the county assembly on questions and statements by Tuesday, 14th October 2025. And as per the procedure, you understand, once the reports have been submitted to the assembly, they stand committed to the liaison committee that now goes through all the reports and makes a final report to be tabled on the floor for debate. Honorable members, Honorable members belonging to the Public Accounts and Investments Committee to meet after the rise of this morning sitting. Again, honorable members, allow me to acknowledge attendance at the public gallery of teachers and students from Shimbo Secondary School in Veruga Ward. So when I call out your name, you rise, we acknowledge you, then you'll sit back. One, Mr. Pancras Ogega is gone out probably. Two, Madam Nelly Akinyi. And the students of Shimbo Secondary School. Karibuni sana bunge. Welcome. As a parliamentary practice, or custom and tradition, I'll kindly ask honorable members to welcome the guests, that is the guests of the Assembly, Shimbo Secondary, with an acclamation, assembly or parliamentary acclamation to welcome them. Thank you. May I take also this opportunity to welcome the area MCA from Veruga to give also his welcoming remarks. A limitation of 3 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I take this opportunity to welcome our esteemed teachers and students from Shimbo Secondary School. Welcome to Bunge. Feel free and feel at home. Ask questions within this president if necessary. Mr. Speaker, sir, when I see students from Shimbo, I just see the face of Veruga because I believe most of the students, they come within Veruga. So I'm delighted today to see you here, and I hope today you learn a lot, you'll experience a lot, engage, and as we are here to nurture you as our future lead, our future young leaders. And for your information, Mr. Speaker, that the former MCA was a product from Shimbo. So I believe in you. In future, we'll have so many leaders coming from this Bunge, also National Assembly, because what you do here is a replica from National Assembly. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, and have a good time here in Bunge. Thank you.
Honorable Mzuga, may I give this opportunity to a teacher, to the teachers in the house, represent the teachers in the house.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. I want to take this opportunity also to welcome my colleague teacher or teachers and the students from Shimbo. I feel so welcomed. I was also a teacher in Mogalo High School, and I feel so proud when I see teachers and students being in this assembly. It's very aspirational, very inspirational to you, because I know you are leaders, not even future leaders, because I know within you already you are leading in your small way, so you'll be better leaders, maybe more than us. Welcome so much, and may God bless you.
Chairperson Education Committee.
Asante sana mwenyekiti na spika wetu siku ya leo kunipa fursa hii, pia niwakaribishe rasmi kama mwenyekiti. Mimi ni kuwakaribisha bunge hili. Najua mmekuja kwa ajili ya masomo na mujifunze pale mahali ambapo mnahitaji kujifunza katika bunge hili, na muwe huru. Pia kuwatambua walimu ambao wamekuandamana na wao, na mjue ndoto yote ambao uko nayo haina upeo. Una uwezo wa kufika mahali popote unahitaji at the young age you are. Wenzangu wamewashauri, kwa hivyo shikieni huo ushauri na mkaribie na muwe pamoja nasi. Tuko pamoja na nyinyi na tuko tayari kuwasaidia mahali ambapo mnahitaji msaidike. Si sawa? Kwa hivyo karibuni sana Mheshimiwa Spika. Kama mwalimu nashukuru kuona hili kwa sababu miaka mingi kiasi ikiwa shuleni, ikiwa Kenyatta High School, miaka ile nilienda bunge la taifa, nikakaa mahali Basil Kitkos alikuwa nakaa, na nikasema kwamba nikawa pale nikatoa kiapo kwamba kuna siku nitakalia kile kiti. Kwa hivyo hilo nafikiri unaliona kwa mbali nakuja. Kwa hivyo na nyinyi pia mtie bidii kwa sababu hakuna ndoto ambayo haiwezi kutimia. Ni wewe upambane ufikie upeole. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika kwa kunipa fursa hii.
Honorable Taraya, I know you have an inspirational story, but 3 minutes, then we close that order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for catching my eye and giving me this opportunity to welcome our young brothers from Shimbo and teachers from Shimbo. Welcome so much in Bunge. And I always say everything is very much possible. Whatever the dream you have in you and whatever that you have come to learn here, if you strongly believe in it, you can actually realize it just through beliefs and working hard and working smart towards it. Because as I stand here, I went to a day school in St. John's in Mugange. And through St. John's in Mugange, I still managed to score a very good grade, a B+ from the same school in St. John's. So I strongly believe you, Shimbo, because we were sister schools by then, when I was there, I strongly believe in you. We can make professors in you, we can make medical doctors in you, we can make parliamentarians, and so many other people that you want to be, and big professionals that you want to be in future. So it is very much possible, and you can manage, and you can make it. So as when you are around here, feel comfortable, learn, and I strongly believe everything is very much possible under the earth. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to say a word. Thank you.
Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Next order.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
Yes, the minority whip and member for Mingu Kishushi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, I raise to seek a statement on the status of Kishenyi Kishushe Mlilo Water Project undertaken by Taveva. Mr. Speaker, sir, in line with the parliamentary best practices, precedents and conventions, and pursuant to the provisions of Taita Taveta County Assembly Standing Order number 61 relating to the sittings Order number 7, question and statements, a member of the House can seek a statement requiring availability of information, clarification, or appearance on any substantive issue, circumstances, situations, and matters appertaining to the attention of the county governments, the national government, or any public entity where such mandates relate to the management of service and leadership to the citizens and institutions as per the Constitution of Kenya 2010 and our current laws are concerned. Mr. Speaker, sir, in line with the foregoing, I hereby seek a comprehensive statement regarding the status and management of Kishenyi Kishushe Mlilo Water Project, which was undertaken by Tavevo Water and Sewerage Company. Mr. Speaker, sir, since the completion of the project, no handover, training, or public participation has taken place, and the department through Tavevo Water and Sewage Company has remained silent on the matter. This has created uncertainty and concern among residents of Kishenyi, Kishushe, and Mlilo, who continue to face water-related challenges despite the project's completion. Mr. Speaker, sir, it is worth noting that prior to the implementation of the new project, there existed the Kishenyi Kishushe Water Project that was successfully managed by a duly constituted project management committee under the community-led arrangements. Residents did not experience water shortages and the project ran effectively. However, after the takeover by Tavevo and the subsequent implementation of the Kishenyi Kishushe Mlilo Water Project, the following concerns have raised by the residents. 1. Acute water shortages are now being experienced, contrary to the situation before. 2. Instead of installing an independent pipeline for the new project, Tavevo enjoined the system with the already existing community pipes, causing disruptions. 3. The existing PMC and other stakeholders were not involved during the planning, implementation, and management of the project. 4. Tavevo continued to regulate and ratio water flow arbitrarily, subjecting residents to hardships. 5. Despite legal requirements, no public participation has been conducted, and the community management structures have not been trained or involved as was initially agreed. And lastly, the project has not been formally handed over to the community, thereby undermining community ownership and sustainability. Hence, the community is demanding public participation be conducted soonest and project be formally handed over to the community to run through their PMC in line with the principles of devolution, accountability, and community ownership. Mr. Speaker, sir, I therefore seek the intervention of the CECM for the Department of Water, Sanitation, Environment, Climate Change, and Natural Resources to provide immediate clarity and commitment on the above issues and safeguard the rights to restore the community trust, ensure proper management of water resource, and safeguard the rights of the residents of Kishenyi, Kishushe, and Mlilo to adequate, accessible, and sustainable water services as guaranteed under Article 43(1)(d) of the Constitution of Kenya 2010. Mr. Speaker, sir, given the significance of this project in addressing water scarcity in Kishenyi, Kishushe, and Mlilo areas, and the torment being experienced by the residents under Tavevo's management, I seek a statement from the chairperson of Water and Irrigation Services Committee addressing the following issues. 1. What is the official status of Kishenyi Kishushe Mlilo Water Project, and has it been technically completed and certified? 2. Why has the project not been handed over to the community despite completion, contrary to the stated implementation plan? 3. Why was the project not implemented with an independent pipeline as originally envisaged, and what informed the decision to connect it to the existing community, putting in mind the project was funded worth 64 million. 4. Why was the duly constituted Project Management Committee, PMC, excluded from the process despite their proven track record in managing the earlier project? 5. Why has the department through Tavevo failed to conduct public participation as required under Article 10 of the Constitution and Section 115 of the County Government Act 2012? 6. What measures is the department putting in place to train the community management committee and ensure capacity building for sustainable water management as advised under the project? And 7. What are the timelines for handing over the project to the community as initially promised? Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Chairperson, Water and Irrigation Services.
Asante sana Bwana Spika. Ningependa kumpongeza Mheshimiwa Newton Kifuso kwa swala hili la Kishenyi Kishushe Mlilo mradi wa maji. Kwa hivyo ningependa kusema kwamba ameleta swala hili kwa wakati unaofaa, vile anavyojua, hata mimi ninavyojua, na vile bunge wa jimbo wanavyojua, na kwamba mradi huu ulikuwa katika hali ya kutekelezwa na kupitia TAVEVO kutoka serikali kuu ilipeana pesa ambazo zisizopungua milioni 64 kama vile mheshimiwa alivyosema Newton Kifuso. Kwa hivyo kuna wakati tulitembelea mradi huu, kamati ya maji, mpaka kule Mlilo, kituo cha mwisho kabisa. Kwa hivyo ningependa kupongeza kwa sababu mmeleta kwa wakati mzuri, na wacha niseme kwamba kamati itachukua jambo hili kwa uzito. Tulipokuwa tumeutembelea walikuwa wametupatia kama miezi miwili, ndio sasa mradi utakuwa umekamilika kiutaalamu, alafu ndio wafanye testing, alafu ndio sasa wafanye waje kwa wananchi, alafu ndio.
Honorable member, you are giving a response on the floor of the house. Already, it's like you are responding to the statement here and now. Are you giving, supposed to give a commitment of 7 days, or you are now giving a response straight on the floor? Are you the minister?
Naja hapo mheshimiwa. Mheshimiwa Speaker, naja hapo sasa. So ningeomba Mheshimiwa Newton Kifuso utupatie siku 7 pekee. Tutakuwa tumeleta full tutakuwa tumeleta ripoti yetu kwa ukamilifu kuhusiana na mradi huu wa maji, pamoja na Mheshimiwa Minority Leader. Najua unakusa sehemu zote mbili. Asante Bwana Speaker.
Honorable members, any member with a remark on the same statement, limitation of 3 minutes, individual per person, and cumulative of 20 minutes. The floor is open, honorable members. Member for Mahoward.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity also to appreciate my colleague, Honorable Kifuso, for bringing in this statement. Honorable Speaker, we have a problem with the TAVEVO thing. And I think it's most of the project that has been initiated, not only what Kifuso is referring, we're also facing the same problem in most of the projects that were initiated by donors and handed over to the TAVEVO. This one is becoming a problem. And I think it's good that if these people cannot be able to manage the projects, it's better that these projects are given back to the community to manage themselves. Because I'm not seeing the sense when you are given a project and no progress that is identified. We cannot even understand the initiative that the TAVEVO brings into a project. So I feel that the chair should move very fast, and not only this project, also some other projects, even from where I'm coming from. I have also a concern in my project, most of the projects that were handed over to the TAVEVO company, so that at least we can have sanity. Not only that, when the project is handed, and mind you, Honorable Speaker, water is life. And when you are given a project and you know development, no any progress in that particular project, and the community are expecting when the project is handed over to them, there must be some progress, but that one is not identified. Then, Honorable Speaker, this one should be taken very serious, and I think you'll be giving a good directive on this matter, so that if they cannot manage, let them give out this project back to the community so that they can manage themselves. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Statement seeker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. 7 days are sufficient.
TAVEVO is having several issues. Part of it is about the going concern and several issues, particularly with the rural connections, where projects are done and they take them over only to see challenges coming up. But all the same, within 7 days, Water Committee, it is required that to bring a comprehensive response about the same matter. Next order.
Order number 8, motions. Adoption of the report of the Select Committee on Budget, Finance and Appropriations on the consideration of the Taita Taveta County Finance Bill, Taita Taveta County Bills number 5 of 2025.
Yes, Honorable Peter Shambi.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir, for this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I'm standing in for the Chairperson, Budget and Appropriations Committee, Honorable Jimmy Mwamidi, to move a motion on the adoption of the report of the Select Committee on Budget, Finance and Appropriations on the consideration of the Taita Taveta County Finance Bill, Taita Taveta County Bills number 5 of 2025. Mr. Speaker, sir, that this third County Assembly adopts the report of the Select Committee on Budget, Finance and Appropriations on the considerations of the Taita Taveta County Finance Bill, Taita Taveta County Bills number 5 of 2025, laid on the table of this House on 30th September 2025, afternoon sitting number 081, and its recommendation thereof. Mr. Speaker, sir, Article 208(2) of the Constitution of Kenya, read together with Section 133 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012, mandates the county government to prepare a county finance bill. This bill serves as the legal framework for the collection of on-source revenue, which is essential for financing county operations and development initiatives. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Finance Bill 2025 was duly submitted to the County Assembly on 19th August 2025 and proceeded to the first reading on 28th August 2025. In line with Standing Order number 148-6, the bill was thereafter committed to the County Budget, Finance and Appropriations Committee for detailed consideration and reporting back to this House. Mr. Speaker, sir, during the approval of the Taita Taveta County budget estimates for the financial year 2025-2026, alongside the Appropriations Act 2025, this Honorable House approved an on-source revenue target of Kenya shilling 669,600,000 shillings. To facilitate the legal collection of this revenue, the enactment of the Finance Bill 2025 is therefore imperative. Mr. Speaker, sir, in fulfillment of this mandate and in compliance with both the Constitution and the Public Finance Management laws, the committee undertook the following key activities in processing the Finance Bill 2025. Number 1, held a committee meeting on Monday, 1st September 2025, to adopt the tentative work program for the processing of the bill. Number 2, published advertisement on the County Assembly's website and social media platforms on 15th September 2025 to invite views from the public. Number 3, conducted public participation forums from Monday 22nd to Thursday 25th September 2025 across all the 20 wards of Taita Taveta County in line with Article 196 of the Constitution and Section 115 of the County Governments Act 2012. Number 4, received, compiled, and analyzed the reports from all the 20 wards reflecting public views, concerns, and recommendations regarding the bill. Number 5, received and analyzed the memorandum from Matateba Owners Association and Makwetu Media regarding the bill. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee noted the following observations. Number 1, the committee noted that the county executive had retained most of the taxes, fees, and charges in the first schedule, the single business permit in the second schedule, the liquor license in the third schedule, and health and public health services in the fourth schedule, thereby maintaining consistency with the previous financial years. Number 2, the Finance Bill 2025 proposes new taxes and charges across various sectors, including traffic and parking fees, market fees, application and inspection fees for liquor licenses, filming and festival licenses, environmental movement fees, activities, waste disposal fees at county dump sites, refuse collection, conservancy fees, hire of county social halls, renewal of consent for mining, leases of county-owned quarries, fines and penalties, single business permits, and health services. Number 3, the committee observed proposed increase in taxes, fees, and charges under several categories, including traffic and parking, refuse collection, conservancy, common mining and natural resource extraction, transportation fees, animal movement fees, veterinary charges, meat inspection fees, licensing of community managed water projects, single business permits, and public health. Number 4, the bill also includes proposed reduction in fees related to common mining activities, natural resource extraction, and transportation. Number 5, the County Executive Committee member for Finance and Economic Planning submitted a proposed amendment to the Finance Bill 2025, recommending a reduction in the land rate struck from 2% to 0.5%. Number 6, the County Executive Committee member did not submit the Finance Bill to the County Assembly within the stipulated timeframe, thereby limiting the County Assembly's opportunity for adequate scrutiny and public participation. Number 7, the committee observed that many of the county's potential revenue generating avenues remain underexploited / undercollected. Committee recommendations. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee recommends that the House approve the Finance Bill 2025 with the following amendments. Number 1, that the county executive member should be submitting the Finance Bill to the County Assembly not later than 15th June each year. Number 2, that the Finance Bill 2025 has proposed new charges as outlined in Annex 1. These represent additional revenue streams introduced to the current bill in view of the county's target to collect 669 million in on-source revenue. The committee considered that the proposed charges must be reasonable, equitable, economically justifiable, and administratively feasible to collect. According to the committee, recommends that the new charges Mr. Speaker, accordingly, the committee recommends that the new charges be effected as proposed in Annex 1. Number 3, that the Finance Bill 2025 has proposed reductions in certain fees and charges. In consideration of public pleas presented during the public participation forums, as well as the county executive's recommendation to reduce these fees, the committee recommends that the reduction be effected as outlined in Annex 1. Number 4, that the 5th schedule on hospital charges contains a mix of new, increased, and reduced fees and charges, taking into account the prevailing economic conditions and the need to balance affordability with sustainable service delivery. The committee recommends that the charges be effected as outlined in Annex 1. Number 5, that the County Department of Health Services develop and implement practical measures to ensure the consistent availability of all the essential drugs, non-pharmaceutical supplies, and medical equipment across all health facilities. This will enhance public confidence and uptake of the Government of Kenya's Social Health Insurance under the Social Health Authority, SHA, thereby increasing revenue through the provision of comprehensive and reliable medical services. Number 6, that the County Executive Committee member for Finance and Economic Planning invest in improving utilities and infrastructure to create a more conducive environment for business and service delivery. This would encourage the business community and other county residents to pay their taxes and duties promptly and willingly. The county should also adopt the principle of value for money in all the operations to foster trust and promote voluntary compliance with tax obligations. Number 7, that the county government undertakes comprehensive research to identify and assess areas with untapped revenue potential. Additionally, proper systems and mechanisms must be established to ensure that all collected taxes and fees are efficiently accounted for and remitted to the county treasury. Number 8, that the county executive committee member for finance and economic planning assign clear revenue targets to all revenue heads and submit quarterly reports on revenue collection to the county assembly on a regular basis. Number 9, that all the county executive committee members formulate and submit all relevant legislation on revenue enhancement and management of the county assembly to facilitate the efficient implementation of the Finance Act 2025 once assented into law. Number 10, that the county executive committee member for finance and economic planning should designate receiver of county government revenue and authorized public officers to be collector of revenue in accordance with Section 157 and 158, respectively, of the Public Finance Management Act 2012. Number 11, that the Finance Bill 2025 be adopted by the House, subject to the amendments outlined in the highlights of amendments as detailed in Annexure 1. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, it is therefore my humble duty and privilege on behalf of the County Budget, Finance and Appropriations Committee to table this report and respectively recommend it to the Honorable House for consideration and approval. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I beg to move. Mr. Speaker, I want to take this opportunity to call Honorable Mziga to second.
Although I was not very certain if we have a member by that name. So I'm not even certain who is seconding. But all the same, for purposes of Hansard, because some of this documentation sometimes gets challenged. So please proceed once again.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, I would request that next time I'm supposed to read a big report like this one, my PA should be around so that to keep serving me water. My voice almost got distracted. However, Mr. Speaker, I meant I wanted to call Honorable Lawrence Manjala Mzuga, member of County Assembly from Bololo Ward, to second.
Honorable Shambe, we have competent and adequate sergeants at arms in the house. So in case you needed a glass, it would have been provided, notwithstanding. Honorable members, I now propose a question that this third county assembly adopts the report of the Select Committee on Budget, Finance and Appropriations on the consideration of the Taita Taveta County Finance Bill, Taita Taveta County Bills number 5 of 2025, laid on the table of this House on 30th September 2025, afternoon sitting number 081, and its recommendations thereof. Honorable members, the floor is open for debate, but as you debate, allow me to invite you to standing order number 254, which gives us a good direction, guidance on consideration of a finance bill. Standing order number 254, 1. Following the submission of the legislative proposal by the member of County Executive Committee responsible for finance, understanding order number 252, the Finance Committee shall introduce to the County Assembly the finance bill in the form in which the bill was submitted as a legislative proposal by the member of County Executive Committee responsible for finance, together with any report of the committee on the bill. 2. Any of the recommendations made by the committee or adopted by the County Assembly on revenue matters shall A. ensure that the total amount of revenue raised is consistent with the approved fiscal framework. B, take into account the principles of equity, certainty, and ease of collection. C, consider the impact of the proposed changes on the composition of the tax revenues with reference to the direct and indirect taxes. D, consider domestic, regional, and international tax trends. E, consider the impact on development, investment, employment, and economic growth. F, take into account the recommendations of the County Executive Committee member responsible for finance. And G, take into account the taxation and other tariffs, agreements, and obligations that Kenya has ratified, including taxation and tariff agreements under the East African Community Treaty. 3, the recommendation of the member of the County Executive Committee responsible for finance shall be included in the report and laid on the table of the County Assembly. Honorable members, I thought it was necessary we revisit this standing order, and in particular 254-2A that says any of the recommendations made by the committee or adopted by the County Assembly on the revenue matters shall A, ensure that the total amount of revenue raised is consistent with the approved fiscal framework. Honorable members, the floor is open for debate. Yes, Chairperson Trades and Deputy Majority Leader.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. I want to commend the committee, and especially of my chair, Honorable Jim Mamidi, taking us through this process. And say, Mr. Speaker, this is a very serious bill, a very serious document. Finance bill is a serious document for our county. And I thank also this assembly for facilitating us to go to the people and do public participation. I know there are challenges here and there, but at least the people on the ground or in the ground know what this document means. Personally, I went through this document. I also got some technical advice from the technical guys, and there were some amendments we made, and some of them were made by the people, and they are very important amendments. So far, so good, Mr. Speaker, because we have passed this document because this county has to run not by ourselves, by the public funds, and the finance bill typically gives us the framework on how we are going to tax our people, on how we're going to get funds to run this county. I want to say that it can't be a perfect document, but it is a negotiated document, well participated by several people. In the area in Bololo, I think I had some challenges because some people raised some issues. We gave some amendments, and some of them were considered, others were left out. It can't be a perfect document, but it's a document which will be adopted by this House for the sake of running of this county. So I beg Mr. Speaker to support the document.
Motion mover, reply.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir. First and foremost, I want to, in a very special way, to thank you for the guidance you've given up on specifically Standing Order number 251 and 252, which I can confirm it was the standing orders that we made reference even as we were discussing this particular document. Mr. Speaker, I just want to clarify for the benefit of doubt to this Honorable House that when we are handling this financial bill document, we took reference to quite a number of things. of course, the amendments that Honorable Lawrence was alluding to were heavily informed by the public participation opinions that were given out there by the members of the public. However, as we were also picking the public opinions and making reference to the reports, we also tried deliberately to try and make reference to what other neighboring counties, what are the standards in other neighboring counties compared to us. And we deliberately tried to analyze documents from Kwale, Kilifi, Makueni, Kajiado, and other counties to see what is like the basic minimum and what is basically the opinion, and that also helped us enrich the document. Then secondly, we also looked at the best practices in terms of one-source revenue collection and how they have framed their finance bill over the last 2 financial years. And this one, we also looked at the county of Homa Bay, and we were deeply informed by how deliberately the county of Homa Bay designed the finance bill in such a way that it was easy, as it was alluded in the report, that for easy of collection and also considering other economic factors. And Mr. Speaker, while we were at it, we also looked at the economic hardship generally and the complaints that the members of the public have been putting across. And Mr. Speaker, while we were working on this document, it was sad to be informed that there are quite a number of businesses that were closed down in this county, in Taveta, in Voi, and even in Mwatate, and other areas. And this was due to over taxation. And we felt that we have an obligation as leaders to be able to facilitate business and economic activities in this county. And we are asking ourselves whether it makes sense for us to be able to overtax these entities and let them close, or we manage the taxes so that we are also help them to stay afloat and remain in business while we still collect the little that we can. These are some of the factors that we heavily looked at. And Mr. Speaker, I can give you an example that the taxation specifically for the matatu industry. Matatu industry representatives were here the other day, and I think you were present when they were complaining about how taxation is done in this country. And we are comparing with the monthly permits that they pay, monthly parking permits that they pay in Taita Taveta County being 2,000 shillings, and in Mombasa County they are charged 1,400 shillings. And Mr. Speaker, we started asking ourselves whether we are killing our own people at the expense of collecting taxes, because the ripple effect, we looked at the ripple effect, is going to be too much when we actually increase. And the proposal that was brought here, Mr. Speaker, sir, is that this permit was increased from 2,000 to 3,000 shillings, Mr. Speaker, per month. Now, when we were discussing this, the comments that we were talking about was, are we then going to approve the 3,000 that the Matatu people should pay per month, and how is it going to affect the local of the local, Mr. Speaker, sir? Because somehow the Matatu business would have to recoup their profits by the end of the day. And this means they are going to increase the fare transport for the farmers in Wumingu, those who bring milk to Undani. They are going to increase the cost of transport from the local person who lives in Wanganga village, for example, when they want to come to Undani. And therefore we felt it is important that we manage so that the county is able to collect, and the farmers and the people who are getting these services are also able to feel the reprieve. And therefore those are some of the areas that we looked into. The other issue, Mr. Speaker, sir, was the issue of artisanal miners. Mr. Speaker, there was a proposal in this finance bill that the artisanal miners are supposed to pay a license of 10,000 shillings a year. Now, my understanding of an artisanal miner is somebody who does not necessarily have anywhere to mine. Number one, it is difficult even to mobilize them to be able to pay the 10,000 shillings for them to be able to get a license, to be allowed to go and do mining. But secondly, the kind of business they do is mining of the lowest level, that it is difficult for us to be able to, to rate them, so that we now are able to get percentages from the work that they do. So it is a very complicated balance, and we felt that we as a government also need to be able to facilitate these small business holders, so that they are able to look for their minerals wherever they are and get money for them to be able now to circulate the money in the market and boost businesses in this country. So, Mr. Speaker, there are so many examples that I could share, but because of time, I wanted to give this House the benefit of a picture in terms of the direction that we decided to take to this time with the finance bill, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, sir, I would want to request my honorable colleagues to be able to support this finance bill. When we were supporting this finance bill, we are when we vote yes for this finance bill, we are voting yes for the local farmer in Wanganga village, Mr. Speaker, sir. When we vote yes to support artisanal mining in this county. When we vote yes, Mr. Speaker, sir, we are voting to ensure that businesses thrive in this county. Mr. Speaker, when we vote yes to ensure that we have supported our local mamambogas within this county, so that they are able to take their children to school. And therefore, it is our responsibility as leadership of this county to be able to communicate, to contribute to the well-being and the well affairs of citizens of this county, Mr. Speaker. Having said all that, Mr. Speaker, I beg to reply.
Honorable members, I now put the question that this third county assembly adopts the report of the Select Committee of Budget, Finance and Appropriations on the consideration of the Taita Taveta County Finance Bill, Taita Taveta County Bills number 5 of 2025, laid on the table of this House on 30th September 2025, afternoon sitting number 081, and its recommendations thereof. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. As many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable members, now the bill, being that the report has been adopted, can now proceed for the second reading. That shall be coming in the afternoon's sitting. That is both the second reading and the committee of the whole, which are very critical, and I understand a number of amendments shall be considered at that stage. So I invite all members to be present, because that's where the rubber meets the road, so that you don't go blaming others in this House that they adopted this and that, while you had an opportunity to come up with a proposal of amendment and defend it on the floor for the others to understand it on behalf of the people that we represent, and again looking at the bigger picture of Taita Taveta. Next order.
Order number 9, motion. Provision and display of identification tags for healthcare workers in Taita Taveta County.
Honorable Mohammed Omar.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I rise to move a motion on a provisional and display of identification tags for healthcare workers in Taita Taveta County. That aware that Article 43(1)(a) of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 guarantee every person the right to the highest attainable standard of health, which include the rights of health care service. Mr. Speaker, sir, further aware that the Constitution under Article 10 underscores the national value and principle of governance, such as transparency, accountability, integrity, and good governance, which must guide all public service delivery. Recognize that healthcare workers form the front line in delivering of essential service to citizens in hospitals, health centers, and dispensary across the county, while interacting and being the point of contact to patient and member of the public seeking medical service on a daily basis. Mr. Speaker, sir, concerning that, members of the public seeking medical service have often experienced difficulty in identifying healthcare providers due to lack of proper identification, thereby creating a room of impersonation, negligence, extension, and general mistrust between patient and health workers. Further, concerning that, cases of malpractice and unprofessional conduct go unreported or unpunished because patients are unable to identify the officers involved. Noting that the absence of clear identification undermines accountability, erodes public confidence in the health system, and compromise effective service delivery. Acknowledging that healthcare facilities are sensitive environment where vulnerable patients deserve to know the identity of those entrusted with their treatment and care. Mr. Speaker, sir, now therefore, this County Assembly urged the County Executive Committee member of Health Service to ensure that all healthcare workers in Taita Taveta County health facilities are issued with official identification tag, which must be visible, displayed at all times while on duty, as a measure to promote accountability, professionalism, security, and effective service delivery in the county health sector. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I take this opportunity to call upon Honorable Margaret Kabuki to second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I stand to second.
Honorable members, I propose the question that aware that Article 43(1)(a) of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 guarantees every person the right to the highest attainable health standard of health, which includes the right to health care services. Further aware that the Constitution and Article 10 underscores the national values and principles of governance such as transparency, accountability, integrity, and good governance, which must guide all public service delivery. Recognizing that healthcare workers form the front line in the delivery of essential services to citizens in hospitals, health centers, and dispensaries across the county, while interacting and being the point of contact for patients and members of the public seeking medical services on a daily basis. Concerned that members of the public seeking medical services have often experienced difficulties in identifying healthcare providers due to lack of proper identification, thereby creating room for impersonation, negligence, extortion, and general mistrust between patients and health workers. Further concerned that cases of malpractice and unprofessional conduct go unreported or unpunished because patients are unable to identify the officers involved. Noting that the absence of clear identification undermines accountability, erodes public confidence in the health system, and compromises effective service delivery. Acknowledging that healthcare facilities are sensitive environments where vulnerable patients deserve to know the identity of those entrusted with their treatment and care. Now, therefore, this County Assembly urges the County Executive Committee member for Health Services to ensure that all healthcare workers in Taita Taveta County health facilities are issued with official identification tags, which must be visibly displayed at all times while on duty, as a measure to promote accountability, professionalism, security, and effective service delivery in the county health sector. Honorable members, the floor is open for debate. Motion mover, give your reply.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Silence means concurrency, but deep down to their heart, I believe they have really acquiesced with the motion. And this motion, Mr. Speaker, sir, I know it's going to improve the sector, the Department of Health, because there's this narrative of a medical practitioner with their egotistical by hiding mistake with another mistake. By identification tag, Mr. Speaker, sir, we are going to identify those who are incompetence and professionalism in the department. And it will be very easy for us as a committee to come up with disciplinary measures through the committee to the department. But Mr. Speaker, sir, even you have to bear in mind, each and every day when you wake up, the situation in health department is exacerbate in a high %. That's why I hope.
Point of clarification.
Yes, Honorable Shambi, what is the point of clarification that you want to seek?
Mr. Speaker, sir, the honorable member on the floor is using very heavy words. And we are not very sure whether he is actually telling us the right things. And we therefore hope that you can intervene for the member to be able to clarify and simplify the English for the benefit of many of our members in this House. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Mr. Speaker, sir.
Honorable member, Honorable Omar, will you want to take the point of information from Honorable Newton? Yes or no?
No, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Oh, fine. Proceed, but
thank you, Mr. Speaker.
you know that as a member you have a duty under the standing orders to be truthful to the facts, so
Yes,
that when anything you say later is gauged and found out of to be unparliamentary, then you know very well the standing orders have provisions to look at the conduct as well in abuse of privilege. Proceed, Honorable Member.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for your guidance. But I'm very aware that I'm being captured by the Hansard, and I'm very, very much approved when I rise to this house.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker, sir.
What is the point of order, Honorable Kifusi?
Mr. Speaker, sir.
Kindly resume your seat, Honorable Omar.
Mr. Speaker, sir, our standing orders are very clear, without referring to specific, even the Constitution, that any language used must be simple, clear, and not ambiguous. Mr. Speaker, sir, we are not in a literature class. We are in a honorable house established under Article 1 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010. Mr. Speaker, sir, members laughing here, they are not entertained, but we are asking ourselves, are we in English literature class? And if we are in that class, we have a very competent teachers here. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, you need to guide us. I think if people have started learning English today, they should be also complying with the strict laws that any language used must be simple, clear, and unambiguous. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, sir.
Proceed. Wind up, Honorable Member, in
I'm
giving
just
your
winding
reply.
up, but Mr. Speaker, sir, when you go back 2 years ago, most of the people are just mocking me that I can't speak English. But now they are complaining. So I'm just wondering, the same people, they say,
Honorable Member, wind up. Wind up, please. Wind up.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I believe with your sacrificious on this matter, I beg to reply.
Honorable members, I now put the question. That aware that Article 43(1)(a) of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 guarantees every person the right to the highest attainable standard of health, which includes the right to health care services. Further aware that the Constitution under Article 10 underscores the national values and principles of governance such as transparency, accountability, integrity, and good governance, which must guide all public service delivery. Recognizing that healthcare workers form the front line in the delivery of essential services to citizens in hospitals, health centers, and dispensaries across the country, while interacting and being the point of contact to patients and members of the public seeking medical services on a daily basis. Concerned that members of public seeking medical services have often experienced difficulties in identifying healthcare providers due to lack of proper identification, thereby creating room for impersonation, negligence and extortion, and general mistrust between patients and health workers. Further concerned that cases of malpractice and unprofessional conduct go unreported or unpunished because patients are unable to identify the officers involved, noting that the absence of clear identification undermines accountability, erodes public confidence in the health system, and compromises effective service delivery. Acknowledging that healthcare facilities are sensitive environment where vulnerable patients deserve to know the identity of those entrusted with their treatment and care. Now, therefore, this County Assembly urges the County Executive Committee member for health to ensure that all healthcare workers in Taita Taveta County health facilities are issued with official identification tags, which must be visibly displayed at all times while on duty, as a measure to promote accountability, professionalism, security, and effective service delivery in the county health sector. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 3, adoption and approval of the report of the Committee on Implementation on the Mapping and Elimination of Asbestos Roofing within Taita Taveta County.
Chairperson, Implementation, Minority Whip.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. You know, the person who was, the Mheshimiwa who was on the floor made me laugh and I was almost forgetting my points. Mr. Speaker, sir, I raise to move a motion on adoption and approval of the report of the Committee on Implementation on the Mapping and Elimination of Asbestos Roofing within Taita Taveta County. That this third county assembly adopts and approves the report of the Select Committee on Implementation on the Mapping and Elimination of Asbestos Roofing within Taita Taveta County, laid on the table of this House on 30th. Sorry. I will
complete moving the motion, honorable member.
okay.
Move the House before you go to the report.
sorry, Mr. Speaker, sir, that this third county assembly adopts and approves the report of select committee on the implementation on the mapping and elimination of asbestos roofing within Taita Taveta County, laid on the table of this house on 30th September 2025, afternoon sitting number 081, and its recommendations thereof. So, speakers, I move to chapter 1. This report can be made as a result of a motion by a member of County Assembly, Honorable Duncan Wangama, passed by the County Assembly on 15th April 2025, urging the county government of Taita Taveta to map and eliminate asbestos roofing within the county. The motion was forwarded to the executive on 15th April, the same day, 2025. The document to substantiate mapping and elimination of asbestos roofing within Taita Taveta County was availed by the time the committee went on writing this progress report. The document shed light on how the matter was handled. Background. In the 1960s and 1970s, asbestos was a material of choice in the construction industry. A number of facilities, including food manufacturing industry as well as residential homes, use asbestos roofing material due to its durability and fire resistance characteristics. These asbestos roofing materials have deteriorated over time, requiring their replacement, necessitating their removal and disposal. Asbestos is an hazardous material with extremely fine fibers which can remain suspended in the atmosphere for hours. Exposure to air containing fibers increase the risk of inhaling the fibers, which lead to serious chronic health problems such as asbestosis, lung cancer, mesothelioma. These diseases are incurable and fatal. The World Health Organization classification of asbestos as a carcinogen has heightened the urgency for stringent regulatory actions. According to the legal notice number 121 of the Environmental Management and Coordination Waste Management Regulation 206, waste containing asbestos is classified as hazardous waste. In addition, the legal notice requires that hazardous waste be disposed of in specified manner as approved by National Environment Management Authority, NEMA. The objective, Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee objective were to: 1, to review the motion, documents, and avail and make proposal where necessary. 2, to visit the department and get to know their side of story. 3, to report to the House on view of committee concerning the outcry. And 4, to report to the House the recommendations of the committee. I now move to the Chapter 3, Committee Findings. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee, having gone all the way and took the initiative of getting the objectives right, made the following findings: that mapping was done in all sub-counties in Taita Taveta County, both public and private facilities with asbestos roofing. A total of 101 facilities, that is 84 public sites and 24 private sites, were earmarked with an estimated cost of asbestos removal of 11.1 million shillings, Kenya shillings. Tabulations: removal of asbestos, public 87 sites, put an average of 100 per site. That brings to 8.7 million. Then add private sites with that is 24, multiply by 100,000 shillings, that brings to 2.4. When you add the 8.7 plus 2.4, accumulatively brings to 11.1 million. C, designating an asbestos disposal site in Kenya requires a comprehensive, multidisciplinary, and multi-sectoral approach, ensuring all legal, environmental, health, and community concerns are addressed. D, the activity necessitates coordination between national and county governments, as well as collaboration with various stakeholders like NEMA and the Directorate of Occupational Safety and Health Services. E, NEMA first developed national guidelines on safe management and disposal of asbestos in 2011, before they were revised in 2013. The guidelines were produced through consultative and collective efforts of NEMA and lead agencies such as the Ministry of Health, Directorate of Occupational Safety and Health Services, and the then City Council of Nairobi. The proper disposal process include inventory and notification. 2, worker training and supervision. I'll not go to much details because I believe members have the document. That is I'm giving you the outline on the proposal disposal process. That include, first, the inventory and notification. 2, worker training and supervision. 3, risk assessment. 4, temporary storage. 5, handling in garages. 6, transportation. And the other one is disposal site requirements. And lastly, disposal operations. That there is need to come up with F. There is need to come up with asbestos disposal team comprising of NEMA, that will deal with the licenses and audits, disposal sites, as well as enforcing rules and issues, penalties for illegal handling. And then we have the health department, whose role is in asbestos is the management role. County government to establish disposal sites at the local level under NEMA guidance. And we have the directoral, another stakeholder is the Directorate of Occupational Safety and Health Services, in short form DOSH, sets and regulates workplace safety standards, including PPE, what we call the PPE stands for post exposure, and safety asbestos handling. And also, they need to have a representative of private owners of both genders to represent the private sectors. And we look at the chapter 4, committee conclusion and recommendation. Committee conclusions. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee on implementation concludes as follows. According to the directive, property owners are responsible for removing asbestos material in compliance with the Environment Management and Coordination Act. This legislation outlines strictly procedures for safe disposal to prevent environment contamination, while no specific deadline for compliance has been set. The government emphasizes the need to eliminate asbestos, especially to mitigate health risk. 2, National Environment Management Authority to oversee asbestos removal from both public and private facility. This initiative, addressed to the polluter pays principle, ensure property owner bear the financial responsibility for the removal process. Government official asserts that eliminating asbestos roofing will reduce the future burden of asbestos-related disease, lower healthcare expenditure, and improve living conditions. 3, environmental analysis have held the directives as a pivotal shift in Kenya's commitment to public health and regulatory enforcement. 4, beyond the immediate health concerns, the directive issued is part of broader efforts to uphold constitutional environment rights. Article 42 of Kenya Constitution guarantees every citizen the right to a clean and healthy environment, a principle reflected in national environment policies. 5. In line with Part 2, Section 2G of the 4th Schedule of the Constitution, National Environment Management Authority NEMA will oversee the safe removal, disposal, and handling of asbestos, whereas county government are urged to establish designated disposal sites. Mr. Speaker, sir, our committee recommendations were as follows. One, the committee on implementation recommend the following. A, budgetary provision for asbestos removal. The County Department of Health Services, in collaboration with private facility owners, should set aside adequate financial resources for asbestos removal to ensure timely elimination of asbestos-containing materials. 2, designation of disposal sites. The County Department of Health Services, in consultation with NEMA, should urgently identify and establish a designated asbestos disposal site within the county or align with approved national facility to ensure compliance with the Environment Management Coordination Act 2024. C, formation of asbestos disposal and oversight team. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee recommended that there be formed the inter-agency team comprising National Management Authority, NEMA, County Department of Health Services, Directorate of Occupational Safety and Health Services, county government officials, and representatives of private property owners, both genders, be constituted within 21 days after adoption of this report to oversee asbestos removal, handling, transportation, disposal in line with the national guidelines. D, strict enforcement of NEMA Guidelines 2013 revised edition. All asbestos removal activities must adhere to the NEMA Guidelines on Safe Management and Disposal of Asbestos 2011 revised in 2013, which require mandatory inventory keeping, notification, labeling, use of PPE, worker training, and proper record management. Mr. Speaker, the section I'm omitting is contradicting the other parts. Capacity building and awareness. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee recommended that National Environment Management Authority, Directorate of Occupational Safety and Health Services, and county government collaborate to undertake training, sensitization programs for contractors, property owners, and workers to ensure proper handling of asbestos and to raise public awareness on the dangers of the exposure. F, health and safety monitoring. The County Department of Health Services, in collaboration with the Directorate of Occupational Safety and Health Services, should put in place regular health monitoring and surveillance programs for workers involved in asbestos removal and disposal to mitigate occupational risk. G, periodic reporting and accountability. The other G contradicts A. That's one we omit it in our report. Periodic reporting and accountability. The County Department of Health Services, in collaboration with the National Environment Management Authority, NEMA, should submit quarterly report on the progress of asbestos removal, disposal activity, and compliance status for property owners of the County Assembly on health services. Mr. Speaker, sir, it is my pleasure and duty on behalf of the committee to present this report. I call Honorable the Vice Chair, Honorable Sariki, to second. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Honorable members, I propose the question that this third county assembly adopts and approves the report of Select Committee on Implementation on the Mapping and the Elimination of Asbestos Roofing within Taita Taveta County, laid on the table of this House on 30th September 2025, afternoon sitting number 081, and its recommendations thereof. Honorable members, the floor is open for debate. But before the floor is granted to you, Honorable Lawrence, I've had the chairperson implementation as you are moving the motion and taking the House through the report. There are some areas you are highlighting like they are somehow contradicting, they're supposed to be expunged and such like. The procedure has it that then there must be an amendment motion to this report. Without that, when the report is adopted, it means the report goes as it is. So maybe it is within the wisdom of the committee, if you can consult very fast, either the amendments to be moved now, or we postpone putting the question, we postpone debate until maybe the coming sitting or whatever, in whatever manner. So as you consult, Honorable Mzuga, proceed.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I want to commend this committee for bringing this motion to this House. The amendments notwithstanding, of course, the amendment can be dealt with by the technical team, but personally, I feel that this is the right motion to be brought to this House, because I have been reading about asbestos, and I discovered that asbestos are very hazardous to our people. They can cause lungs problem, they can cause lungs cancer, and so on and so forth. It's a story which is there out. Personally, I tried to pursue the same story in Voi, with the Voi market, Marikiti market, to try and budget for removal of asbestos roofing in that market, particularly because we have been warned against them by the medical practitioners, by the experts that asbestos are very hazardous to us. So, Mr. Speaker, I've heard about a budget of 11 million, and I feel like it's a drop in an ocean comparing to the health of our people. So I want to commend the committee and the chair of the committee for bringing us this motion, and should be taken with the seriousness it deserves, because it is touching on the direct lives of Taita Taveta people. And Mr. Speaker, as much as we talk about the economy, the wage bill and everything, it's important we take care of our people, we take care of the health of our people. As much as we talk about our hospitals are not okay, they are not well equipped, but there are those low-lying fruits like removal of asbestos in our roofings. Because from the experts' point of view, it's clear they are killing our people. So I commend Honorable Kufuso for bringing this motion here, and whichever the procedure is going to be used, Mr. Speaker, to bring the amendments, we are okay with that motion. We can do it with the amendments, because he has also confessed to us that there are some parts which are contradicting each other. So we can remove those parts so that we can adopt that motion, and we follow it up through the implementation committee, that it should not gather dust in the shelf like any other motion, because it's a serious motion which should be taken to the seriousness it deserves, and I beg to support the motion with amendments which will be brought forward. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker.
No, honorable member, it is unparliamentary to anticipate debate. In fact, it is against the standing orders to anticipate amendments. So there are no amendments so far. The House doesn't know of any amendment. The report is being moved as is, not unless an amendment or an adjournment of that motion has been done.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, for that guidance. But I took this from you because you told us that the amendments can be done either procedurally or whichever the way. So that's why I've anticipated them. But if it's preliminary, I also agree with that 100%. So for now, I beg to support the motion the way it is. Thank you so much.
Honorable members, the floor is still open for debate. The report is as moved. Yes, a member for Mwatati, Chairperson Mining.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, on community engagement and awareness, Mr. Speaker, sir, the fight of asbestos cannot be won by government alone. Mr. Speaker, sir, communities must be informed, engaged and empowered, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, on the report, Mr. Speaker, sir, people need to know the risks of asbestos.
So, honorable member, in the first place, as a rule of debate, you must say you support the motion or you oppose it. Then you proceed with your remarks.
Okay, Mr. Speaker,
because
sir.
you seem to be not clear whether you are supporting or opposing the motion.
Mr. Speaker, sir, first I stand to support the motion. Okay, thank you. Mr. Speaker, sir, the people need to know the risks of asbestos exposure. They need to understand why it is dangerous, how it should be handled, and what roles they must play as the community. Mr. Speaker, through awareness campaigns, trainings of contractors and public education, we can build a community that actively supports the elimination of asbestos. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, I stand and I support the motion. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Yes, member for Mahowache Education.
Oh, thank you, Samani. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika kwa kunipa fursa hii. Kwanza ni kumpongeza Mheshimiwa Kifuso kwa kuleta mswada huu na niunge mswada huu 100%. Mheshimiwa Spika, ujenzi wa kutumia mabati au yanaitwa hiyo jina umetaja ambayo yanasemekana ni sumu semekana ni sumu na pia inaleta ugonjwa wa kansa na magonjwa mengine. Mheshimiwa Spika, maisha ya watu wetu ni muhimu sana. Ukilinganisha na pesa iliyotajwa hapo, mimi naunga mkono kwamba ni vizuri tuchukue hatua kwa haraka kama viongozi na kuona kwamba haya mabati ambayo yaliletwa na kawezwa kuwekwa kwa ajili ya kuezeka taasisi mbalimbali ambazo ni za mashule, hospitali na kadhalika, tuweze kuhakikisha kabisa kwamba haya mabati na mabaki yake yametolewa na tupwa na yakaweza kumalizwa kabisa, kwa sababu haya ni maisha ya watu wetu. Na ningeomba kama nyumba na viongozi tuunge mkono jambo hili na kulisukuma kuhakikisha kwamba badala ya kwamba tu tunaongea hapa na nawekwa kwa makaratasi na kutajwa, badala yake sasa tuende kwa utekelezaji na kuhakikisha kabisa kwamba haya mabati na chochote kile kinahusiana na hiyo maneno imetajwa hapo, tumeondoa yote na tukamalizana nayo kabisa once and for all. Kwa hivyo Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi naunga mkono na naomba kwamba tuchukulie hatua na tuhakikishe kabisa kwamba haya mabati yameondolewa kabisa, na tuweke muda wa kutosha, angalia hata kama kwa muda mfupi, tuhakikishe kabisa kwamba tuendelee kuongelea mambo ya utekelezaji, bali utekelezaji ufanyike kwa haraka, kwa sababu milioni 11 hiyo ni pesa kidogo ambayo bunge hili linaweza kutenga na kuona kwamba kaunti serikali ya kaunti imetekeleza kwa haraka na watu wetu waweze kupona. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika.
Yes, Honorable Mwambi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Let me inform the House that I'm also one of the committee member of the implementation committee. So I stand pursuant to Standing Order 118 on adjournment of defer. I beg to move this debate be postponed indefinitely. I call upon Honorable Zareki to second.
Honorable members, why are you excited? You know, deferment of debate, when you say indefinite, it means even in the afternoon, if you choose resumption of the same debate, the same matter will be brought back. So it is given any day, any sitting that the mover of the motion would wish to bring resumption, that motion back to life, he will do that. But when we put restriction like in the next sitting, it means by all means, maybe consultation will not have been completed. So that's why I think the wording is as Honorable Mwambi. However, notwithstanding, Honorable members, I propose the question pursuant to Standing Order number 118. The 118.1 that the motion be deferred indefinitely. The floor is open for debate. Yes, Chairperson, implementation.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. First of all, members, honorable members, I wish to apologize for that mishap that had happened due to some technicality. And we humbly request the House, the honorable members, to support the suspension of this highly anticipated debate, which all of us, we are in concurrence, to allow us to expunge some of the contradicting paragraphs, and then we will bring it back. So with your all due humbleness, we humbly request that you support this, and we will sit as a committee, and we apologize this will not happen in future. And we are really looking forward to finalize this as soon as possible. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
What is the matter, Honorable Deputy Majority Leader?
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. It's very unfortunate that we are postponing this debate, or we are...
the question has been proposed. So first you should either support or oppose.
Personally, I support the postponement.
Propose or proceed.
I support the postponement, but it's very unfortunate that the member brought this motion on the floor of the House without going through it, because the contradiction could have been seen earlier enough to be corrected. But now I thank God that this debate is so pertinent to me, by the way, very pertinent. So I say that if it is going to rectify, if it's going to be better than it is now, I support the amendments and I support the postponement until it comes back to the House. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Motion mover, reply.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I stand to reply.
Honorable members, pursuant to Standing Order number 118, 1. (1181), the House is hereby moved to defer or adjourn the motion indefinitely. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. As many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. The motion stands deferred to a future date. Next order.
Order number 11, adoption and approval of the report of the County Public Accounts and Investments Committee on the review of Auditor General's report on the financial statements of Tavevo Water and Sewerage Company Limited for the year ended 30th June 2024.
Chairperson, Public Accounts and Investments Committee and Deputy Minority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity which I rise on behalf of the Committee of Public Accounts as the chairperson to move this motion of the reports that we laid before this House in the yesterday's session, Mr. Speaker, upon sitting number 081. Mr. Speaker, I move a motion, adoption and approval of the report of the County Public Accounts and Investment Committee on the review of the original report of the financial statement of Tavevo Water and Sewerage Company Limited for the year ended 30 June 2024. That this Public County Assembly adopts and approves the report of the Committee on the County Public Accounts and Investment on the review of the Auditor General report of the financial statement of Tavevo Water and Sewerage Company Limited for the year ended 30 June 2024, laid on the table of this House on 30th September 2025 afternoon sitting number 081 and its recommendations thereof, Mr. Speaker. Allow me to very fast go through some sections of the report, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, this report highlights the constitutional and statutory obligations of the Office of the Auditor General reports on Tavevo Water and Sewerage Company Limited for the year ended 30th June 2024, ensuring accountability, transparency, and prudent management of public resources. It also underscores the role of the Public Accounts and Investment Committee in reviewing the Auditor General findings, examining the management responses, and making informed recommendations for approval by the County Assembly. The committee adopted a comprehensive methodology including detailed examination of the financial statements, obtaining additional information from the management and other stakeholders, and considering the relevant provisions of the Public Finance Management Act 2012. Finally, the report presents the basis for a qualified opinion outlining each query and the management commitments, finding the proposed actions addressed and issued identified. The analysis ensures that all matters are clearly documented, evaluated, and accompanied by practical measures of strengthening governance and accountability of the management of Tavevo and Sewerage Company. Mr. Speaker, allow me to take this honorable House and very fast on the basis of the opinion. Mr. Speaker, one of the main audit query or the basis of opinion, Mr. Speaker, was the material of uncertainty of the going concern. Mr. Speaker, sir, the statement of the financial position reflects the current assets balances of Kenya shillings 653,458,192 and the current liabilities of Kenya shilling 985,039,193, resulting into a negative working capital of 331,581, representing the current ratio, that is the current ratio of 0.66. This increasing negative working capital and current ratio of less than 1 is an indication that the company may not meet its obligation and when they fall due. As previously reported, the condition indicates the existence of a material uncertainty which may cast doubt to the company's ability to continue as a going concern, and that is a company existence is independent and on continued support from the county government of Taveta and creditors. Management did not disclose the measures being taken to mitigate these conditions. in these circumstances, Mr. Speaker, the company ability to continue as a going concern will not be confirmed. This is a major issue, Mr. Speaker. For the benefit of the honorable members of this House, Mr. Speaker, they must be able to understand that, Mr. Speaker, this company, for the second financial years in a row, we have this query because, Mr. Speaker, as it stands, the company has so much of the liabilities, to put it in a simple way. The liabilities are too many. They have exceeded the current assets, Mr. Speaker. That means this company may not be able to meet its obligations when they fall due. So those are one of the main concerns. And this puts doubt of its existence in the near future. That's why we're having the word going concern. Because how does it exist in the near future if it cannot be able to meet its current its obligation when they fall due? It should be able to attain a ratio of 1 or more, so that you're able to tell, Mr. Speaker, that when some obligation fall due, it can be easy for them to liquidate part of the current assets, Mr. Speaker, so that they can meet this obligation. But as it stands, Mr. Speaker, however, for the last 2 years, it has largely struggled with this ratio, that is the current ratio, Mr. Speaker, and it has put a major question. So we had to request more information from the management, and they brought some responses, Mr. Speaker, that I wanted to bring forth to this House, because this House has a duty to help in making one of the main decisions, Mr. Speaker. The management gave the following responses on that matter.
So, Chairperson, maybe resume your seat so that we legalize the extension of time, because standing orders provide our sitting time starts from 9:30 to 12:30 morning sitting. And by the virtue that we are having a number of reports that there are a number of motions, I think 5, that are to be dispensed, it's not very certain that we shall hit the mark of 12:30. So we have to legalize that extension of time. So I call upon the majority leader to move the procedural motion of the extension of sitting time. Yes, majority leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I rise to move a procedural motion, extension of the plenary sitting time, that pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order number 28, 3A, this third county assembly of Taita Taveta resolves to extend its plenary sitting time so as to conclude the business appearing in today's order paper. I call upon Honorable Minority Leader Mandau to second.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I stand to second.
Honorable members, I now put the question. I propose the question that pursuant to provisions of Standing Order number 32(3)A, this third county assembly of Taita Taveta resolves to extend its plenary sitting time so as to conclude the business appearing on the today's order paper. Honorable members, the floor is open. Motion mover, reply.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Silence means concurrence. I beg to reply.
Honorable members, I now put the question that pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order number 32(3), this third county assembly of Taita Taveta resolves to extend its plenary sitting time so as to conclude the business appearing in today's order paper. Will as many of that opinion say aye? As many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. So let's proceed. Chairperson Park.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for that consideration, because as you said, the reports here are 5, and the report that currently Mr. Speaker is looking into is one of the reports that this House should fully follow through. I should be able to give as much details as I could, Mr. Speaker, because it's one of the entities that it's under our watch, Mr. Speaker, as an oversight body of this beloved county, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I was on the point of the audit query that I've said it has previously been captured, Mr. Speaker, and it's a major concern, Mr. Speaker. It's a major issue because any company that is supposed to operate should be able to show it is able to operate infinity, Mr. Speaker. So that's a principle that is supposed to be adhered to. And Mr. Speaker, Tavevo did not display that for the previous financial years. Clearly tells you because if you are not able to have enough assets, current assets, so that you're able to meet your current obligations, Mr. Speaker, your liabilities, Mr. Speaker, and some obligations when they fall due, Mr. Speaker, it is a clear indication that your existence in future is uncertain. So, Mr. Speaker, it is quite an issue that put our committee into a very deep discussion, Mr. Speaker, where we were almost, I will go through the recommendations when we get there, but we are almost being forced to make some of the very difficult decisions, Mr. Speaker. But we all know how important this organization is because of the service it is giving to this county, Mr. Speaker. And if we are to make very strict recommendation, Mr. Speaker, maybe we might put some services into crisis, Mr. Speaker. But I really feel this House should walk through these reports, and I call upon all of us to follow through keenly, Mr. Speaker, on this matter. Mr. Speaker, we made a question. We needed some information from the management. We got some responses why for the periods in question the company has operated under less than 1 for its current ratio, Mr. Speaker. The management gave the following responses. 1, the management has taken and listed the measures below to confirm the company is a going concern. 2, the issue is the company which was incorporated to serve the urban area was later mandated to take over the supply of the whole county, including rural areas, after devolution. The company was handed over and inherited unsustainable projects initially run by the community, which have progressively eaten into the revenues collected elsewhere. Such projects include diesel-fueled pumping system, boreholes, high maintenance cost of old and depleted systems. Many proposed remedies for such projects require huge investment to make them sustainable, such as solarization, Mr. Speaker. We are residents of this county, and lastly, we as a committee were convinced with this concern that this Tavevo Water was handed over some projects, and they mentioned some of the projects to us, Mr. Speaker. And it was clear that some of these projects could not generate enough revenue to be able to sustain. So they end up eating as part of some of the revenue that was generated by the other urban areas, Mr. Speaker. So we'll check if our recommendations. The company has been improving in its O&M cost coverage in the financial year, 76% in the financial year 2022 or 2023 to 78% in the year 2023-2024. This is a steady improvement which we intended to sustain and make the company sustain as per the attained cost coverage analysis, Mr. Speaker. This is an analysis that they did in terms of the revenue and its operation, and we could see clearly show there was some slightly improvement from 76 to 78. So they, however, tried to convince us that they are working towards mitigation and handling these issues of going concern. To improve on a non-revenue water management and grow our revenues, we have also improved a number of strategies as below. The water and sanitation development projects, water supply improvement for the 4 sub-counties. 2, mobile meter reading. 3, extensive customer metering, engage our customers to ensure fully functioning meters are in place. Pressure management, it means reducing pipe bursts due to high pressure during low peaks. Effective NRF reporting, adopting of GIS using geographical information system in managing the water through assisting in DMA design, identifying potential and illegal connection, leakage reporting, plotting failures, and identifying hotspots to inform main replacement programs. Number 7, establishment of DMAs. The company is in the process of revising 12 DMAs, which will provide an effective means of monitoring and controlling physical and commercial losses. Establishment of proactive non-revenue team. The company has established an effective uniform team which shall proactively investigate disconnected accounts that do not request connection on the basis that they probably get water somewhere else. 4, regular patrolling of the water distributing network, independent reviewing major consumers such as car washes, references, promoting a visual inspection, reviewing metering anomalies so that meter tampering is quickly identified. 4, reconciling DMA flows by company and monthly water balance with the leakage assessment. B, providing appropriate initiative to customers and staff to identify illegal connections. Number 9, effective customer engagement. The company is engaging effectively with customers and stakeholders through educating them on a beneficiary of aspects such as reporting of illegal water usage and leakages, need to pay the water and water conservation. The company is using platforms such as local barazas, website, bulk SMSs, social media, among other local administration units to enlighten customers on the benefits of reporting of illegal water usage, bursts and leakages, and payment of bills. We shall pursue the collection of our receivable to increase our collection. This will be achieved by engaging a private debt collector services and other soft collection measures. So these are some of the measures the management has responded on how he is going to work on this, Mr. Speaker. And among the issues that came before this House, Mr. Speaker, was a debt collector, which was the issue they brought forth, Mr. Speaker, before this House. Allow me to check very fast through the recommendations, the committee observations, I mean. The increasing negativity of the working capital, which is 331 from financial year 2023 to 2024, as compared to the financial year 2020, as compared to 227,208,424 in the financial year 2022-2023, and 163,634,849 in its obligation as when it falls due. The management did not disclose the measures being taken to mitigate this condition as at the time of the audit review, nor disclosed in the financial statement. Number 3, failure to implement previous Senate Public Investment and Committee and County Public Investment and Audit Committee recommendations. Number 4, lack of goodwill to implement suggested proposal mechanism to ensure the company improves its obligation and hence the company's solvency. Madam Speaker, we made the following recommendations as a committee. The management should formulate and submit a detailed financial plan within 30 days outlining specific revenue enhancement and cost-cutting strategies, including timelines and measurable targets to achieve positive working capital within 2 financial years. The company should form a joint oversight committee with representatives from the county government and the company board to monitor the implementation of the financial sustainability measures, which quarterly progress reports submitted to the county assembly. The management should prioritize low-cost interventions such as forest solarization and high-cost maintenance projects and seek grants or partnership with development agencies for funding. The company should prioritize and expedite the implementation of prior recommendations from the Senate Public and Investment Accounts Committee and the County Public Investment and Accounts Committee. A detailed section plan with timeline and responsible parties should be responsible to ensure compliance and track progress, addressing the noted failure to act to this recommendation. Management should provide clear and timely disclosures in the financial statement regarding the measures being implemented to mitigate the going concern uncertainties, Madam Speaker. I will not be able to go through the entire issues. That was the main audit query, Madam Speaker. And those are the issues as a committee we were able to find out, Madam Speaker. Maybe before I call upon one of the honorable members to support this, Madam Speaker, allow me to also add that one of the main challenges that we came across was the billing from the coast water, Madam Speaker. That's why I'm calling upon the honorable members, because we are leaders, and even engage with the leaders of this county to see how able, Mr. Speaker, to help make sure that even the billing from the coast water will be reasonable, Madam Speaker, because from the end they are saying most of the bill is estimated. And most of the Mr. Speaker, looking at the distance from Mzima to Voi or to Taita Taveta County, Mr. Speaker, most of the costs that include the power, water comes from Zima to Taita Taveta County with gravity, Madam Speaker. But we are being billed similar bill with the Mombasa, with Kilifi and other counties, Mr. Speaker. That's why it's making Tavevo encounter and looking at our usage, Mr. Speaker, and the volume of water that we get. That's why it's prudent for this House to engage with the leadership, Mr. Speaker, to see if this matter. Because it's one of the areas that has increased the liabilities of this organization, Madam Speaker. So,
Honorable Makalo, it
yes,
is Madam Speaker.
Okay.
You repeatedly said, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Madam Speaker, for that correction. You know, the changes that happened, I'm supposed to adhere to the new changes, Madam Speaker, and that may take some time, but I am sorry for that. So, Madam Speaker, as I'm mentioning that issue, I have captured, and I want to call this honorable House and honorable members to support this report and to support this report so that we are able to move it to the recommendation committee. Allow me to call Honorable Patricia. Honorable Patricia to support, not to second the motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I stand to second the motion.
Honorable members, I now propose the question that this third assembly adopts and approves the report of the Committee on the County Public Accounts and Investment on the review of the Auditor General Report on the financial statements of Taita Taveta Water and Sewage Company Limited for the year ended 30th June 2024, laid on this on the table of this House on 30th September 2025, afternoon sitting number 081, and its recommendation thereof. Honorable members, the floor is open for debate. Honorable members, I now put the question. Okay. Motion mover, reply.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Silence means concurrence. I beg to reply.
Honorable members, I now put the question that the third county assembly adopts and approves the report of the Committee on County Public Accounts and Investment on the review of the Auditor General Report on the financial statement of Taveta Water and Sewage Company Limited for the year ended 30th June 2024, laid on the table of this House on 30th September 2025, afternoon sitting number 081, and its recommendation thereof. Will as many as of the opinion say aye? Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 12, motion, adoption and approval of the report of the County Public Accounts and Investment Committee on the review of Auditor General's report on the financial statements of the Taita Taveta County Revenue Fund for the year ended 30th June 2024.
Honorable Lamos.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I again rise to move a motion on adoption and approval of the report of the County Public Accounts and Investment Committee on the review of the original reports on the financial statement of the Taveta County's Revenue Fund for the year ended 30th June 2024. That this third county assembly adopts and approves the report of the Committee on County Public Accounts and Investment on the review of the Audit General report on the financial statement of the Taveta County Revenue Fund for the year ended 30th June 2024, laid on the table of this House on the 30th September 2025 out on a sitting number 081 and its recommendation thereof, Madam Speaker. Again, as I said, I will not indulge on the entire report. I will take through the query, many of the issues, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, this report highlights the constitutional and statutory obligations of the Office of the Auditor General to scrutinize the financial statements of Taita Taveta County Revenue Fund for the year ended 30 June 2024, ensuring accountability, transparency, and prudent management of the public resources. It also underscores the role of the Public Accounts and Investment Committee in reviewing the Auditor General findings, examining the management responses, and making informed recommendations for approval of the County Assembly. The committee adopted a comprehensive methodology including a detailed examination of the financial statement, obtaining additional information from the management and other stakeholders, and considering relevant provisions of the Public Finance Management Act 2012. Finally, the report presents the basis of a qualified opinion outlining each query and management responses, the committee finding and the proposed actions to address the issues identified. This analysis ensures that all matters are clearly documented, evaluated, and accompanied by practical measures to strengthen governance and accountability in the management of the revenue fund, Madam Speaker. The main issue was the budgetary control performance, Madam Speaker, which is an issue we have all interacted it in a way that, Madam Speaker, the comparisons of the budget and the actual amounts reflects receipts budget of an actual on a comparable basis of Kenya shilling 7,501,388,639 and Kenyan shillings 5,875,744,804 respectively, resulting in under receipts of Kenyan shillings 1.6 billion, that is 1,625,643,835, or at 22% of the budget. Similarly, the fund transferred Kenyan shillings 5,875,744,804 against an approved budget of Kenyan shilling 7,501,308,631, resulting in an utilization of Kenyan shillings 1,625,643,835, or at 4% of the budget. The fund spent Kenyan shillings 5,875,744,804 against an actual receipts of Kenyan shillings 5,669,395,897, resulting in an underfunding of under transfer of Kenyan shillings 1,625,643,835, or at 2% of the budget. The under receipts and the under transfer affected the planning activities and may have impacted negatively on the delivery to the public. The management response is as follows. The management had noted that the audit observation, the resultant of under receipts and under transfer of Kenyan shilling 1.6 billion or 22% of the budget was occasioned by a non-realization of the exchequer issue. On the exchequer issue, on exchequer issue, donor-funded projects and on-source revenue of Kenyan shillings 403,234,134, Kenyan shillings 935,461,655, and Kenyan shillings 286,947,965 respectively. Our findings, there is a significant under receipts of 22%, that is the 1.6 billion, and under transfer of 24%, that is 1.83 billion, Madam Speaker. There is lack of specific mitigation measures to address these recurring issues, particularly the heavy reliance on donor funds of 56% of the shortfall and the consistency and the performance in our own source revenue collection, Madam Speaker. Our recommendation is as follows. The committee recommends to reduce 56% of the shortfall from donor funding reliance. Management should develop a plan to boost on-source revenue through new services, optimized fees, or public-private partnership. A target marketing campaign could increase service uptake, and visibility studies should explore alternative funding like non-traditional grants and lower funding. To improve on-source revenue performance, the management should modernize collection system with digital payment platform and real monitoring tools. Staff training in financial focusing and compliance along with the regular audit will address inefficiencies and ensure revenue targets are met consistently. Madam Speaker, I think this is one of the reports that as we are doing today the finance bill, Madam Speaker, it tells us that when we are passing a finance bill, we are also expecting at the end of the day, Madam Speaker, to have a measure of how much funds were realized, Madam Speaker. That's one of the reports that was measuring how much revenue was realized from our own source revenue, Madam Speaker, as one of the funds that we are expecting from this county, Madam Speaker. So I feel, yes, we fell short. It is very true that we do not realize our own targets from our own source revenue. We know that. We know that by the closure of the financial year, Madam Speaker, that was started June, Madam Speaker, some of the exchequer funds were also not remitted. That did not stop the report from being developed, their statements from being developed, Madam Speaker. And that's why we as a committee, we were convinced on some of the feedbacks that were given to us, Madam Speaker. There were issues that this county as leaders should be able to be aware of, Madam Speaker. And I agree that it's high time, Madam Speaker, when we are doing our budget, we should try to be realistic as possible, Madam Speaker. Because let's look at how far we fall short of our own source revenue. And look again at this financial year, when I stood here last time, Madam Speaker, when we were passing the budget, and we looked again at how we had targeted again. We didn't realize the 600 million we had targeted from our source revenue. And again, Madam Speaker, we fell short of it, close to 282 million. But again, this financial year, Madam Speaker, we went further and we became optimistic, and we said we are going to raise an on-source revenue of 650 million. We added another 50 million on top, Madam Speaker, and we did not realize. So, if we don't realize this revenue, Madam Speaker, expect such kind of queries again in the financial year that is about to come. And that's why as a committee we recommended that when we are doing this budgeting in terms of our revenue, Madam Speaker, we should be as realistic as possible, so that Madam Speaker can avoid this query of unrealized revenues and transfer, Madam Speaker, by being as realistic as possible. Unless the methodologies and mechanism being put here by the executive to raise these revenues are strictly adhered to, Madam Speaker, because we don't originate these values. These values came from the executive. They are confident that they are going to realize a revenue of 600 million, and they did it, Madam Speaker, and this year they are confident that they are going to realize a revenue of 650 million. So unless they put their strategies right, we expect them to put this agenda so that they're able to realize the revenue. If that one does not happen, Madam Speaker, I feel worried that the query might again appear in the next and subsequent financial years. But because that is does not limit us from undertaking our duties, Madam Speaker, I call upon honorable members to support this report and this motion. And with this, Madam Speaker, I call upon honorable Malega to second this motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I stand to second the motion. Thank you.
Honorable members, I now propose the question that this third county assembly adopts and approves the report of the county committee on county public accounts and investments on the review of Auditor General's report on the financial statement of the Taita Taveta County Revenue Fund for the year ended 30th June 2024, laid on the table of this House on 30th September 2025 afternoon sitting number 081 and recommendations thereof. Honorable members, the floor is open for debate. Motion mover, reply.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Silence Ms. Okane. I stand to reply.
Honorable members, I now put the question that this third county assembly adopts and approves the report of the committee on county public accounts and investments on the review of the Auditor General's report on the financial statement of the Taita Taveta County Revenue Fund for the year ended 30th June 2024, laid on the table of this House on 30th September 2025 afternoon sitting number 081 and recommendation thereof. Will as many of the opinion say aye? With as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 14, motion. Adoption and approval of the report of the County Public Accounts and Investment Committee on the review of Auditor General's report on the financial statements of the Taita Taveta County Emergency Fund for the year ended 30th June 2024.
Honorable Lamos.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Once again, let's still call upon honorable members. We are about to finish these motions. We should not tire. Madam Speaker, I stand to move the motion. Adoption and approval of the report of the County Public Accounts and Investment Committee on the review of the Auditor General report on the financial statement of the Taveta County Emergency Fund for the year ended 3rd June 2024. That this third county assembly adopts and approves the report of the Committee on the Public Accounts and Investment Committee on the review of the Auditor General report on the financial statement of the county of the Taveta County Emergency Fund for the year ended 30th June 2024, laid on the table of this House on 30th September 2025 after sitting number 31 and its recommendation thereof. Madam Speaker, again, I'll not indulge so much on the details of the report. The report was laid in this House. Members might have gone through the report. Allow me to point out a few issues, among them the basis of the query and why there was that query, Madam Speaker, and our recommendations as a committee. Madam Speaker, this report highlights the constitutional and statutory obligations of the Office of the Auditor General to scrutinize the financial statement of the Taveta County Emergency Fund for the year ended 30 June 2024, ensuring accountability, transparency, and prudent management of public resources. It also underscores the role of the Public Accounts and Investment Committee in reviewing the Auditor General findings, examining the management purposes, and making informed recommendations for approval by the County Assembly. The committee adopted a comprehensive methodology, including detailed examination of the financial statements, obtaining additional information from the management and other stakeholders, and considering relevant provisions of the Public Finance Management Act 2012. Finally, the report presents the basis of the qualified opinion, outlining each query and the management reports for the committee finding and proposed actions to address the issues identified. This analysis ensures that all matters are clearly documented, evaluated, and accompanied by practical measures to strengthen governance and accountability in the management of the emergency fund. Madam Speaker, this is one of the funds that was established in this county. Madam Speaker, it is governed by the Public Finance Act, Madam Speaker, and that's why it was part of the fund that, Mr. Speaker, were audited. I will not go into details of the funds and the financial statements, but there was an issue of its budgetary performance, Madam Speaker. So very fast, I will take you very fast on that, Madam Speaker, so that this honorable house is made aware. The statement of comparisons of the budget and actual amounts reflects our final receipts budget and actual amounts on comparable basis of Kenyan shillings 14 million and 8 million respectively, resulting to an realization of 6 million or 43% of the budget. Similarly, the fund spent a balance of Kenyan shillings 5.8 million against an actual receipts of 8 million, resulting in an underfunding utilization of 2.1 million or 0.7% of the actual receipts. The underfunding and utilization may have impacted negatively the fund activities, Madam Speaker. The management response as follows. The management had approved budget. I hope you have understood that part of the basis, Madam Speaker. Someone was asking me today what happens with the emergency fund, Madam Speaker. We need to know that the financial year in question and the report here, Madam Speaker, a total of 5 million was spent against receipt of 8 million. That means there was 2 million that was unspent from that fund. It may mean there were no emergencies in this county. That is what as a committee we were deliberating on. It may mean we didn't have issues to respond to as a county and other issues, but we seek information from the management response, and that's why the response as follows, Madam Speaker. The management had approved a budget of 14 million. In that, had a supplementary budget for disaster preparedness to prevent, mitigate, and reduce any threat and danger of risk and any disaster to its severity consequences as clearly defined in Taita County Emergency Fund Act 2020. Initially, there was no pre-advisory from there was a pre-advisory from Mount Kenya from Kenya Meteorological Department, indicating that El Nino will hardly hit in months of November, December, and January 2024. In preparation of the potential impacts of El Nino rains, the fund received a reward advance of 8 million to help mitigate the effects. Some of the activities carried out to reduce adverse impact include undergoing drainage system, unclogging drainage system, and vaccinating animals, among others. However, the fund was unable to achieve its core mandate as anticipated catastrophe in the county event. As a result, there was no need for further expenditure, leading to an realization of 6 million and a utilization of 2.1 million. That is 27% of the allocated fund, Madam Speaker. We didn't get any confirmation that there was any request to have expended this money. Unless any member could have confirmed to us, maybe they had made a request, but according to the management, they say they didn't have an emergency to respond to. That's why the 2.1 million could not be expended during that financial period, Madam Speaker. However, as you can see, they're projected to raise 14 million, they were given 8 million, and they spent 5 million on that, Madam Speaker. So we made the following observations, and quickly our recommendations were as follows. And Madam Speaker, the committee observed that 43% underutilized, that is 6 million, reflects over-optimistic budgeting, as the 14 million allocation exceeded the actual need due to inaccurate disaster risk forecasting, reliance on the Kenya Meteorological Department pre-advisory without contingency planning for variable scenario contributed to this shortfall, Madam Speaker. Also, 27% underutilization of Kenya shilling 2.1 of available funds indicating missed opportunities to enhance disaster preparedness, such as investing in long-term infrastructure, that e.g. flood barriers or community training programs, even if the El Nino threat subsided. The management response does not provide detailed breakdown of the Kenya shilling 5.8 million spent, limiting the committee ability to access the efficiency and the effectiveness of the activities like drainage and unclogging and animal vaccination, Madam Speaker. This is one of the issues that was highly contentious amongst the committee members, because how do you relate a vaccination of animals with an emergency in terms of El Nino prediction, Madam Speaker? So we were debating amongst ourselves, and we tried to get clarification from the department what it meant by vaccinating animals during El Nino, Madam Speaker, and we made the following recommendations. One, the multi-task risk management framework and implementation in collaboration with the Kenya Meteorological Department and the National Drought Management Authority to guide scenario-based budgeting for emergency fund, Madam Speaker, because we budgeted for 14 million, we received 8 million, we spent 5.8 million. That tells you our budgeting was more optimistic, it was guided. That's why we recommended as a committee in the future budgeting of this emergency fund, Madam Speaker, should be guided by multitasking, including the Kenya Meteorological Department, National organization, Madam Speaker, that work through in these issues of emergency, Madam Speaker, so that we are able to get closer to that budget, Madam Speaker, because 14 million to 5.8 billion, even if we had received 14 million, it means we will have only spent 5.8 million. It also means the same, Madam Speaker. So it tells us that we had optimistic budgeting, and the reasons we spent a little of that, Madam Speaker. The Taveta County Emergency Fund Act be amended to include a policy for reallocating unspent funds of Kenya shillings 2.1 million to alternative disaster preparedness activities such as constructing flood barriers or conducting community training within the same financial or physical year, Madam Speaker. This is in a case where, as it appeared, these were unspent during that period. And Madam Speaker, when they are unspent, it means we didn't respond to some issues. It does not also mean that we are not going to face issues. That's why we recommended that it should be amended, that act, to allow, Madam Speaker, such kind of funds can be expended in addressing issues around infrastructure issues or issues that are able to mitigate issues that can happen in the future, Madam Speaker. I highly agree that we could have more time to recommend, Madam Speaker, that we feel we will follow through the implementation committee. If they implement this among the recommendation, Madam Speaker, then this fund should be able to be operational, Madam Speaker. I highly call upon this honorable House to support this report. Madam Speaker, by supporting this report, it goes to the committee of implementation, Madam Speaker, and I agree there are other previous recommendations we had done on the same, and this recommendation, Madam Speaker, I agree that when this recommendation, Madam Speaker, are able to be implemented, because our duty, Madam Speaker, as a committee is not to implement these recommendations. We are becoming reactive, our nature is reactive in nature, Madam Speaker, and next time we will be interacting with this report, Madam Speaker, is the next audit report, Madam Speaker. So I pass over this as I call this House to support this report. I call upon the implementation committee to take the matters recommended here for implementations, Madam Speaker, to allow an improvement in how we manage these resources that we receive in this county, Madam Speaker. With those remarks, Madam Speaker, I call upon Honorable Nambi to second this motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I stand to second the motion.
Honorable members, I now propose the question that the Third County Assembly adopts and approves the report of the Committee on the County Public Accounts and Investment on the review of the Auditor General reports on the financial statement of the Taita Taveta County Emergency Fund for the year ended 30th June 2024, laid on the table of this House on 30th September 2025, afternoon sitting number 081 and its recommendations thereof. Honorable members, the floor is open for debate. Motion mover, reply.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Silence means concurrence. I stand to reply.
Honorable members, I now put the question that the Third County Assembly adopts and approves the report of the Committee on County Public Accounts and Investment on the review of the Auditor General reports on the financial statement of the Taita Taveta County Emergency Fund for the year ended 30th June 2024, laid on the table of the House 30th September 2025, afternoon sitting number 081 and its recommendations thereof. Will as many as of the opinion say aye? Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order. Clerk.
Order number 14, adoption and approval of the report of the County Public Accounts and Investments Committee on the review of the Auditor General's report on the financial statements of the Taita Taveta Investment and Development Corporation for the year ended 30th June 2024.
Honorable Amos Makalo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise to move the motion on adoption and approval of the report of the County Public Accounts and Investment Committee on the review of Auditor General report on the financial statement of the Taveta Investment and Development Corporation for the year ended 30 June 2024. Aware that the Taita County Assembly adopts and approves the report of the Committee on County Public Accounts and Investment on the review of the Auditor General report on the financial statement of the Taita Taveta Investment and Development Corporation for the year ended 30 June 2024, laid on the table of this House on 30 June 2025, from sitting number 081 and recommendation thereof, Madam Speaker. This is one of the reports again that was committed to this committee. I will not again read the entire report. Again, I'll just read. There was only one matter that was raised by the Auditor General, Madam Speaker, and I will also go through that issue and the recommendations. Madam Speaker, the background of this report highlights the constitutional and the statutory obligations of the Office of the Auditor General to scrutinize the financial statement of the Taveta Investment and Development Corporation for the year ended 30 June 2024. The report further underscores the role of the Public Accounts and Investment Committee in considering the Auditor General finding and queries and in making appropriate recommendation for approval by the County Assembly. Under methodology, the report sets out the process undertaken by the committee in scrutinizing the Auditor General report on the financial statement for the corporation for the year ended 30 June 2024. This includes obtaining further information from the management and other stakeholders, as well as consideration of the relevant provisions of the Public Finance Management Account 2012. And a general recommendation, the report enlists the committee proposed actions intended to address the systematic matter raised in the original report. This broad recommendation had been to strengthen accountability, improve financial controls, and forestall recurrent of the audit queries. Finally, the section of the basis of the qualified opinion on the report illustrates each audit query, the management response, the committee observation on adequacy, on the committee recommend on how the matters raised should be addressed. Madam Speaker, we made the following. There was a query, and the query was on budgetary performance. Again, the management corporation, of the corporation of the budget and the actual amount of both the revenue final and budget and actual amounts of 5.5 million and 2.2 million respectively, resulting to underfunding of 3.3 or 60% of the budget. Similarly, the corporation spent 2.1 against the actual receipts of 5 actual receipts. There was a typo error here. I'm allowed to make some actual receipts of 2.2, resulting to underutilization of 3.3. Similarly, there was a corporation spent a balance of 2.1 against the actual receipts of 2.2, resulting to underutilization of 3.3 of the budget. Maybe the wording is might be. I hope we can make some little bit of correction on that. Thank you. The underfunding and underutilization may have impacted negatively on the corporation activities. That is, they had a budget of 5.5, and they received 2.2. After receiving 2.2, they spent 2.1. So those are underutilization. They gave a response as follows: the management had noted the audit observation The resultant underfunding and utilization of the budget was occasioned by non-realization of the exchequer issue and on-source revenue for Kenya shilling 403 and 286 weekly. However, the activities of the corporation that were affected by the underfunding were rebudgeted in the financial year 2024-2025. The following observations were made by the committee. The minority is inadequate and unsatisfactory. The explanation attributing to underfunding and underutilization of the corporation budget amounting to 3.3, the 60% of the revenue and 3.361% of the expenditure solely to the non-realization of the exchequer of 4 million and on-source revenue of 2.8 lacks specificity and transparency. The management had failed to provide detailed breakdown on how this shortfall directly impacted the corporation department compared to other departments, Madam Speaker. In addition, the claim that affected activities were rebudgeted for the financial year 2024 does not address the immediate negative impact of operations during the period under review, nor does it provide assurance that similar budgetary issues will not occur. This is what our findings are, Madam Speaker, and our observations were, Madam Speaker. Allow me very fast also to check the last part, which is the recommendations. The management must submit a report within 60 days outlining the allocations of exchequer issue and on-source revenue across all departments, reasons for corporation disappropriation, underfunding, and measures to mitigate the revenue shortfall impact. Management should establish a robust internal budgetary control system which quarterly reviews to ensure equitable funds distribution and early detection of shortfall across all departments. The management develops an implementation a revenue diversification strategy to reduce reliance on exchequer issues and on-source revenue, enhancing financial stability. With those remarks, Madam Speaker, I want to call honorable members to support this report, and it is not in coincidence that we also had a statement on the same corporation, Madam Speaker, and this being part of the report that I'll be responding to shortly after this, Madam Speaker. I call upon this honorable House to support this report and this motion, Madam Speaker. With those remarks, I call Honorable Lillian Mangoi to second. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I stand to second.
Honorable members, I now propose the question that this Third County Assembly adopts and approves the report of the Committee on County Public Accounts and Investment on the review of the Auditor General's report on the financial statement of the Taita Taveta Investment and Development Corporation for the year ended 30th June 2024, laid on the table of this House on 30th September 2025, afternoon sitting number 081, and its recommendation thereof. Honorable members, the floor is open for debate. Motion mover, reply.
Silence, Ms. Currency, I beg to reply.
Honorable members, I now put the question that this Third County Assembly adopts and approves the report of the Committee on the County Public Accounts and Investment on the review of the Auditor General's report on the financial statement of the Taita Taveta Investment and Development Corporation for the year ended 30th June 2024, laid on the table of this House on 30th September 2025, afternoon sitting number 081, and its recommendation thereof. Will as many as of the opinion say aye? Aye. Members, for the sake of the Hansard, kindly be audible enough. Will as many as of the opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 15, motion. Adoption and approval of the report of the County Public Accounts and Investment Committee on the response to statements sought by Honorable Peter Shambi on the status of Taita Taveta Investment and Development Corporation.
Honorable Amos Makala.
Once again, Madam Speaker, thank you for this opportunity. I rise to move the last motion, or the motion. I rise to move a motion on adoption and approval of the report of the Taita Taveta County Public Accounts and Investment Committee on the response of the statement read by Honorable Peter Shaimi on the status of Investment and Development Corporation, that this third county assembly adopts and approves a report of the Committee on County Public Accounts and Investment on the response to statement read by Honorable Shambi on the status of the Investment and Development Corporation laid to the table of this House September 2025, sitting number 81 as recommendation thereof. Madam Speaker, the Honorable Member, I think, was served with this report. And I may not be able again to read details because from the look of the members and the activities we had for the day, Madam Speaker, the member has gone through the report in details. But for the benefit of this Honorable House, I will just read very quickly our observations. Madam Speaker, with your permission, I will just go through the observations because I have said the statement seeker was furnished with this response, Madam Speaker. We chose to do a complete report because we wanted some of the recommendations that will be passed here, Madam Speaker, should be our resolutions as a committee, Madam Speaker. I go through the committee observations very quickly. Upon reviewing the responses provided, engaging the board and the seconded staff through meetings and summons, and examining the relevant records on the committee, made the following observation: that since its inception, the corporation has not recorded any concrete, measurable, and achievable achievements in line with its statutory mandate. Two, the board has not consistently availed itself when required by the committee and amending accountability and responses. Three, the corporation has remained entirely dependent on the county exchequer with no initiative on strategies to raise its own revenues as invested in the Taita Taveta Investment Development Act 2022. The board has not demonstrated any effort to attract investors or present proposals geared towards stimulating investment in the county. Despite holding 18 meetings since its establishment, the meetings have not yielded any meaningful output or value addition to the corporation's objective. The corporation has been flagged off by the Office of the Auditor General regarding certain financial management issues, raising the need of greater accountability and strict adherence to the prudent financial services, Madam Speaker. After we had this statement from the Honorable Member, Madam Speaker, we severally tried to engage this board, as we have seen in part of our observations, Madam Speaker. We rarely had a meeting with the full board. They either came still missing. Today we get new faces. The other meeting we get other faces. So it was very difficult for us to finally come up with a report from an end that is well informed, Madam Speaker. We didn't get as much information from them because of their shortfall in terms of attending our meetings, Madam Speaker. But I also recall we had given a progress report on this matter from the statement seeker, and this has informed this committee to make some of the following recommendations that, if you have permission, Madam Speaker, I can read through them very fast as they conclude. The committee recommends as follows: the county executive to reconstitute the boards within 30 days with active experts in investment, finance, and enterprise development, mandate governance training, require quarterly reports to the county assembly on attendance, decisions, progress, enforcement penalties for non-compliance under the County Government Act 2012. Finalized strategy plan, that is 2024-2029, an investment policy within 60 days with stakeholders' input via public forum as per Article 10 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, include KPI revenues, investor attraction, projects, conduct annual reviews for county goal alignment. Number 3, recruitment of permanent staff, establish investment officers, legal experts within 90 days, competitively budgeting for salaries and training, gradually transition to secondary staff, and formalize partnership with Kenya Investment Authority for training, investor engagement, and project management. Number 4, launch outreach program within 60 days with a website, forums, sector proposal, agro-processing, tourism, and real estate. convert feasibility studies to projects with timelines for flagship like Njoro Kubwa. Number 5, provide office space resource within 30 days for independence. Set quarterly meetings with Treasury and Department to resolve overlaps. Address investor confidence via reforms like tax incentives per county investment policy. Number 6, establish a biannual audits and assembly reports. Review the board annual the corporation that is annually impose sanctions that budget cuts and board dissolution if no achievement in 12 months. Those are our recommendations that we made, because one of the questions that we had been asked, Madam Speaker, among the statement that were captured, Madam Speaker, was the achievements of this board. And among the issues we had captured in the observation, Madam Speaker, there, we had to make those recommendations or the information that, Madam Speaker, this board, which was hyped that is going to be the game changer of this county in terms of investment and helping us, Madam Speaker, to raise our own source revenue. It ended up becoming among the expensive corporations, drawing resources from the few we receive from the exchequer and our own source revenue. And they have not added any value because, Madam Speaker, when we checked even the bulk water was not a project they had initiated, Madam Speaker. So, but from our observation, we could not tell how much impact they had created for the 1 year or more they have been in office, Madam Speaker. These were considered to be professionals. People are going to be experts in the different fields to be able to add value, Madam Speaker. That's why we said that this board should be reconstituted within 30 days. We need to see a reconstruction of the board, Madam Speaker. And if all that is not done, Madam Speaker, we have recommended in our sixth recommendation that within 12 months, if no achievement is there, Madam Speaker, then, Madam Speaker, we need to have a completely dissolution of the board, Madam Speaker. Then we made the following conclusion. The committee, through its meetings and summons with the board and secretariat, established that the Taveta County Investment and Evaluation Corporation is operational. While the corporation has undertaken capacity building program, initiated flagship processes in Njoro Kubwa water project, and developed preliminary policy framework, it has yet to demonstrate tangible results in revenue generating and enterprise development for the county. Despite this progress, the Taveta Investment Development Corporation faces major institutional and operational challenges. These include inadequate budget allocation, lack of full-time competent staff, absence of strategic plan, and insufficient stakeholder engagement. Unless these issues are addressed, the corporation risks falling short of statutory mandates, strengthening governance, such as ensuring sustainable financing, and enhancing cooperation with stakeholders remaining essential for Taveta Investment and Development Corporation to effectively drive investment and contribute to a socio-economic transformation of Taita Taveta County. Madam Speaker, with those remarks, I call upon Honorable Rose Sariki to second this motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I stand to second. Thank you.
Honorable members, I now propose the question that this third county assembly adopts and approve the report of the Committee on the County Public Accounts and Investment on the response to statement sought by Honorable Peter Shambi on the status of Taita Taveta Investment Development Corporation laid on the table of this House on 30th September 2025, afternoon sitting number 081, and its recommendation thereof. Honorable members, the floor is open for debate. Honorable Peter Shambi.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity. Madam Speaker, I want from the onset to take this opportunity to congratulate the Chair, Public Accounts Committee with this committee for the good job that they did under the prevailing circumstances. Madam Speaker, I was looking at this report
And one thing was shouting very loudly that there is a huge disconnect between the vision bearer of this board and the people who are supposed to operationalize it. The vision bearer in this case being the governor, His Excellency Dr. Andrew Mwadime, and the people who are supposed to operationalize it being the executive department in charge and the board itself. Madam Speaker, it's a shame that this particular board has been funded twice. In the 2022-2023 financial year, it was given 50 million, and 2023-2024, they were given 30 million, which is a total of 80 million that was sunk in this board. But Madam Speaker, the biggest challenge is that according to me and from the report, it clearly tells you that there is no value for money. And there's no value for money because there's no clear direction in terms of what this board is aimed to achieve. And therefore, if you look at the committee deliberations, you can look at 2.2, it tells you that the board has a membership of 7. But from the records availed, we only had 3 members attending meetings. So that tells you that whatever deliberation was made in those meetings, there was no quorum. And that means if there's no quorum, it means whatever was discussed was null and void ab initio. And therefore, it means that this board, since its inception, it has done 0 work. Now, the question that begs to be answered is, why do we need to have a board that is consuming, has already consumed 80 million Kenya shillings, enough to be able to pay for bursaries for our children, and we have achieved nothing? Number 2, what exactly is the vision bearer of this board intended to achieve? And why is he not able to follow up to make sure that his vision was achieved through this board? Madam Speaker, you will notice that there are these boards in other counties. And it has been mentioned somewhere that Mombasa County has a very vibrant investment board that is basically more or less autonomous because it is no longer now consuming money from the exchequer, but the board now is able to attract investment from different investment bodies, and it can be able to sustain itself. So the question is, why do we really need a board that is consuming money that belongs to the exchequer, and why should we keep it in the first place? And therefore, I feel that we have a task. As the executive, they have a task to ensure that this board is adequately facilitated to be able to execute its mandate. The biggest challenge we see in this report is that there is no clear terms of reference. It's very clear in 2.3 that there is a need to develop internal policies, because some of the responsibilities of this board are more or less overlapping with the executive's mandate. And therefore, it is important that even as this board is existing, there is need for them to come up with clear terms of reference, so that now we are able to hold them accountable on specific key result areas that they need to deliver. Number 2, as the House, honorable members of the 3rd County Assembly, we are the ones who vetted these members of the board. We are the ones who moved a motion to be able to adopt that board. We are the ones who put that board in the office. Now, we are at that point that, number 1, we have a challenge of on-source revenue in this county, and we have a body that is ideally supposed to support on-source revenue. We are the ones who are being complaining that there is not enough money to be able to do development projects, and yet we have not been able to make adequate investment into this board so that it is able to execute its mandate. And therefore, Madam Speaker, it is my humble request that even as much as the chairperson of this committee has given this board timelines to be able to do certain things. But I also think we need to challenge ourselves as the IBs and ask ourselves if we really need this board. And if the answer is yes, then we need to ensure that we ring-fence resources that are geared towards supporting this investment, this board, so that they're able to make the necessary investment, which might now in turn bring production that would translate into also revenue for this county that will go a long way in supporting our development projects, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, lastly, I also want to challenge these board members. This board, Madam Speaker, is composed of very brilliant men and women of this county. The chairperson is a doctor, a PhD doctor, Madam Chair. There are engineers in the same. This project they're calling about Njoro Kubwa is being run by a PPP expert, our own son, Mr. Johnson Mwawas. And this particular individual is running PPP projects outside the country. He's doing projects in Tanzania. He recently was doing a project in Malawi. He's doing projects in Dubai. Now, it has serious membership. But is that membership translating into anything? The answer is no. But why? Therefore, I feel it is important that we need to facilitate properly this, because these professionals would want to be facilitated to be able to attend the meetings. They would want to be facilitated to be able to do what they are required to do so that they are able to attract investment. But if they are not facilitated adequately, then it might not translate into anything. And therefore, Madam Speaker, I feel it is good now that we have started this conversation, the Committee on Implementation need to take up this issue urgently so that it is able to follow through to ensure that within the 30 days, we have identified those members of the board who are serious, let them be retained in the board. Those ones who feel that their time is up, then they should be replaced immediately so that we can ensure that we have a body that is active. Then the second thing we need to do as a house is ensure that there are adequate resources and investment. So when supplementary budget is brought to this house and there is a vote head for this particular board, it is important that all of us we gang up and ring-fence these resources so that we give them key results areas for them to be able to deliver at the end of the year, so that now we can be in a position to hold them accountable based on specific instructions that this house and the government at large has given to them. With those many remarks, I beg to sit. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you very much, Chair.
Motion mover, reply.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I thank you for the compliment, Honorable Statement Seeker, because we leave the assignment ahead of us and the statement seeker. Thank you for that. Madam Speaker, as I reply, I also want to appreciate the inputs that he has given on this matter, and I call upon honorable members, and now that this matter, when you pass it over, when you support it, it is being passed to the implementation committee. But as he is saying that we are the people that vetted, we are the house that vetted this investment board, Madam Speaker. One of the silent observations that we did, Madam Speaker, that we did not make capture it here is the issue of age, Madam Speaker. When we are putting a board that we're expecting it to be championing the development issues of this county, we are not ignoring that our elderly people should be part of the board. But we are very vibrant boards who are able to have the energies to burn the midnight oil. But when you put people who are on towards their late 70s, Madam Speaker, then they should be more of advisors because they have gained a lot of experience on several issues. But then tasking them with the duty to spearhead issues of a county sensitive matter of development, Madam Speaker, then I felt we were over-optimistic. Maybe we were learning through the hard way, because this was the first operation that we are setting this county and the first board that we vetted. But I do believe in the next arrangement that we are recommending for the board, maybe they can also look at the age factor, so so that we are able to very vibrant, we're able to respond to issues. Because even when they appeared before us here, Madam Speaker, after being so tough and harsh to people who are so elderly, it might look like we are being hard and harsh on them. So, Madam Speaker, I feel as part of the issues that this new reconstitution of the board, I feel they should really look into the issue of age. Let our senior citizens, we respect them so much, we give them chances to be giving advices when need be. But on matters of championing development matters that need to be run very fast in this county, Madam Speaker, I feel we should bring together even the young generation and the most vibrant young tactics, Madam Speaker. They can bring in new issues because of the technology issues, Madam Speaker. Then we feel we need to have some new energies on those boards. With those words, Madam Speaker, I beg to reply. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Amos Makalo. Before I put the question, I would wish to task the implementation committee through the chair that there are so many recommendations that have been put across. Kindly ensure that they have been implemented. Honorable members, allow me to put the question that this third county assembly adopts and approves the report of the committee on the county public accounts and investments on the response to the statement sought by Honorable Peter Shambi on the status of Taita Taveta Investment and Development Corporation laid on the table of this house on the 30th September 2025, afternoon sitting number 081, and its recommendation thereof. Will as many as of the opinion say aye? Will as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable members, there being no other business, the House stands adjourned until Wednesday, 1st October 2025 at 2:30 p.m.